fucking had enough. Right. So I was on the phone to 101 a little while ago because my lady witness friend Juliet said I really need to call the police if I've been assaulted. So I've gone and done that. But not over a push and a shove, no. Because I'm sick to death of this emotional abuse. My lady witness who was attacked by drunks in the street for trying to help me. And I'm in the home of someone that I have not met, a complete stranger. My partner, I was getting very angry, yes, quite rightly, because of everything I've been put through, all the corruption, all the torture, all the physical and mental abuse. And because I'm asking my partner, what has he been doing all this time? Because I've been working my butt off after self-funding her. You can see it. It's all on YouTube. I've endlessly... And there are these nut jobs along the way because I've obviously come into contact with scammers who are pretending to be professionals and helping vulnerable people and all of that. So I just said to my partner about 2-3 hours ago or something like that. I was getting very angry and very upset the way a human being that's been abused emotionally, physically, mentally would. What have you been doing? And I mentioned Councillor Robin Maxted and everything like that. Because I've even had a threat from this, according to Warrior Wales, this Tina Chave is threatened legal action. What is it with all these people threatening legal action? What is it with people threatening legal action just because you call them out or ask them a question? Why did you lie to me? Why did you falsely offer me help? And then I report them to trading standards, and all of a sudden you've got all that going on. But yeah, a little while ago, to my partner, I was saying, what have you been doing all this time? Apart from... No, I'll spare him the humiliation of saying that. Apart from playing Candy Crush and stuff like that. Whilst I have really worked very, very hard to get where I am, and I'm that ill I haven't even been out. My GP, I've got to be careful what I say, but my GP got this person in a certain role, caring role, shall we say, to contact me, and I contacted her on Friday. And whilst I was reeling off everything I've been through and the emotional abuse, he came in and said, I'll get you a key cut. Even though he said it's theft for me to have a key to this flat that his lady friend says is okay for me to stay in. She's in Nigeria. Because under normal circumstances, I respect someone's home anyway, but this is a personal matter. So, because I shouldn't be here, he's got a home to go to where he's got loads of boxes of my valuables and my possessions, but he won't have me in there. And OCD is not an excuse. Not that he admits he's got it, but even if he did, is not an excuse for abuse and emotional. It is a crime. You can go out there with a Bible. You can go out there and preach whatever you like. You can go and help out with any Christian charity. The lady who knows Darren from his old church, and I'm trying to be careful what I say here, but she was abused by her ex-husband who had an affair, and he was a Salvation Army worker. The Salvation Army, that's right, complicit in human trafficking and child sex abuse. Yeah, it's absolutely steeps everywhere. But I had someone from the domestic abuse helpline the other day. I'm not even, he can hear what I'm saying. I'm not even meant to be saying this. But I had someone say, you're not safe with him, even if it's emotional abuse. He's a predator just because he works with a Christian. Yeah, because behind closed doors, they can be abusive to their partners. But out there, they're pillars of the community. I know this. I already know that. But I don't want to believe that Darren could be doing that. No. Because you don't want to believe it. When you've got no one to turn to, you don't want to believe the person who says that they love you is doing these things to you. You don't want to, because that would make them like Satan, Lucifer, the light bearer, the deceiver, who comes as an angel. He's so beautiful and lovely and sweet and gentle, and all behind it all, he's a sociopath. Yeah, don't want to believe that about Darren. But unfortunately, but anyway, even if the people from the domestic abuse experts are saying, well, you're not safe with him because he's a predator, and then 5 minutes later, they're terminating my call, saying we've got more important calls coming through. They're so thick and stupid at Sussex Police. They are so... They're thick and stupid at Sussex Partnership. I've got to be nice to these absolute morons. I'm so polite to them. I've just recorded an hour on the phone. But you know what you're going to get before you get it. This is just the thing. You know what you're going to get before you get it. So this is what happened. So in a nutshell, I've just gone to Darren and I'm very angry. PTSD, trauma, what the very thing that Darren went round telling people that I suffer from, trauma, is the very thing that he has contributed to, along with Sussex Police. I didn't want to say my partner's name, but I have said it because I was protecting him. It's all coming up now, though. I just don't care anymore, but I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have set up this whole frigging channel. The first ever video that I made has got no sound on it because I'm a technophobe. And I think it was just around that time that Caroline Ansell, my local MP, had emailed me, I'll get in touch with these people and those people, and lies. I've got the emails. And all the while, I was threatened by a hotel guest because they didn't want me there. Because I was, and the manageress, they all start off all nice, covert narcissist, a bit like Lost Souls Paranormal from Police Abusing Powers. We're so happy you're here, heart. And then you're this, and really, Scott, please, will you get a life? I know your hobby is ringing up politicians and being verbally abusive, but please, those really, really novel-sized comments, please, will you go away and get a life? Because as much as I don't like Lucy at the MP office, I agree with her that ringing the House of Commons and the MP office and being abusive is not going to help anybody, and it's not going to help you. So go back to infant school and just... So anyway, so what happened a few hours ago, so I was just basically saying to Darren, what have you been doing? I'm getting very, very, very angry. It's PTSD, it's trauma reaction, because anyone who's been through the cycle of emotional abuse will know that. But now he's changed from, she suffers with trauma, to, I'm not well, it's me, mummy and daddy, I feel like contacting my ex-partner. which nobody wants to do that. Trust me, especially if you've had problems with them. But you get the thoughts, don't you? And when you bumped into him, and he's from the Midlands, but it's like the thought was there. No, my mum, Juliet's right. My mum would not tolerate. She would not be happy with. She would be fuming. And I thought my partner was the kind of person that I could bring home to my mother. I took him to my mother's resting place. His parents drove me there. I've got his parents' numbers, but I don't have the confidence to ring them, even though I'm so full of anger. I'm full of so much anger, but he knows about my anxiety. This is why it's so evil. It's so evil. I've been transparent from the start. So, so I was getting angry and upset. I want to know what he's been saying and what he's been doing, whether it's bugger all and or doing nefarious things for nefarious purposes, all for his own ends. But at one point, because of course I was look what I've done. I've bruised my hand, hitting the door. You can't see it. Can't see it. This is the distress. And he said, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police and the lady who owns this flat. And I said, by all means, please do. I've just had a 101 call handler ask me questions about the assault. And when I went on to tell her about what the police have done to me and ringing 101 and them doing, contacting all the times that the police have assaulted me, because I was explaining to this 101 call handler that the domestic violence caused to me by Sussex police was worse than attempted rape. I went to Hove Crown Court in 2011 over attempted rape. I went to the Saturn Rape Victims Centre. Yeah, we know that Saturn is another name for Satan, but this is when they were the good guys, okay? And I put my assailant 2 years in prison and 10 years on a sex offenders register. And I was even laughing about that. But I was explaining to this 101 call handler that I can't ring the police up about anything. I have done, but they've caused me so much trauma. They've made me suicidal. They've made me afraid. I haven't been out for days. I've attempted suicide in this building because of Sussex Partnership. Are you understanding that now, Dan from Police Abusing Powers and Tina Chave? Because I'm sick of being lied to and threatened. And if Warrior Wales is right, that because this woman, Helen James, whom I do not know, has contacted me out of the blue, and she's got her number from one of you, and she won't tell me who because my number is not published online, and you'd have to go through many of my videos. It's nowhere online. I've said the people who've got my number: Matt Taylor, Andy Devine, Dan from Police Abusing Powers, Tina Che from The Independent Advice. Then there was one moderator called Ian Broadhurst that Dan from Police Abusing Powers got me. If you won't tell me where you got my number from, well, you're so deluded anyway. I asked you a question, where did you get my number? And you've done a Caroline Stevens on me. You're just coming out with all this rubbish. It's a simple question in English. Where did you get my number? Sorry, rephrase that. Who gave you my number? Because it's not online. So it's a case of who gave it. You doxed your own number, Bryony. Now I've made you aware of the intention of legal proceedings in my message above, so please read. It's being rectified by 4 p.m. tomorrow, 23rd of August. Do you know what? Go to hell, Helen James. Go to hell. Whoever gave you my number, you've harassed me and attacked me because I made one YouTube video speaking well of someone, Jeanette Archer and this other lady. I don't know them, but I believe them. And based on that, you've taken my number from someone. It's not on the food bank live stream. And I had another look. My partner's already gaslit me over that. Caroline Stevens contacted Eastbourne Food Bank without telling me. Steve Churchill has got possessions of mine. I don't know who you people are out there in YouTube land, but you've taken advantage of my vulnerability. There are plenty of scammers out there, and I'm calling you out. I've had everything done to me, okay? I've lost my mother to cancer. If you want to be a useless sack of shit, whoever you are out there who's doing these things to me, you go ahead and do it, because it will be to you'll destroy yourself. Eternity is a long time dead for your soul. I've had everything done to me on this earth and in this cesspit of a country under the corruption. I would have rights if I was an illegal immigrant coming over in a dinghy, claiming asylum through racketeering. But some of them themselves are criminals like the police. Dangerous people. I know. I've heard the stories. So anyway, I was on the phone for an hour to this idiot who under common law has neglected her duty towards me. I've got her recorded saying, I won't hang up on you. And I said, really funny that, because the number of times I've recorded people saying that they won't hang up on me, and they've gone and done it. And guess what she did? No prizes for guessing. That's right. She hung up. She wanted me to tell her about the assault from my partner a little while ago. And I've got her recorded hanging up on me. I've also got a previous recording where I've been hung up on. The only reason why my partner said he was going to go out and get the keys cut, because he wouldn't get me keys cut. He's had me locked out of here, and a 101 call handler said that was domestic abuse. I couldn't get back in here, so I had to pay for, that's right, another hotel room. And their sister hotel has been closed down and used for illegal immigrants. They're all being used for illegal immigrants. And what are you lot doing? Nothing. You're fighting with each other. You're cowards. You're all complicit in this. If you do nothing, you're complicit. You are complicit. You are complicit. You, the living man or the living woman, are responsible for your own actions. So Becca from 101. You like to get your people down onto vulnerable people because why? They've recorded on their dictaphone asking you a very simple question. It's a very simple question. It's just a question. Do you have children? And what do you do when my life is in danger and I've recorded protected criminals threatening me in my council accommodation? You've then got the council and a PCSO to come down. You couldn't make it up. Jackanory couldn't do this. It's so incredible you couldn't make it up. PCSO came down to say you've been making malicious phone calls. That was at the property. And someone from the council, some Scotsman with tears in his eyes, looking a bit nervous. I've got to give you this section, this antisocial behaviour order. Why? Because I went to the Riverbourne house where my lady friend who's going through cancer treatment was attacked in the street by random drunks trying to help me, and her friend lives at the Riverbourne house. That is supported accommodation, Tina Chave, who wants to threaten me with legal action because I've reported her to the trading standards for falsely offering me help. And Dan from Police Abusing Powers, my lady witness friend, her friend has got Parkinson's and she lives at the Riverbourne house. But you want to protect the scumbags and the offenders, the police criminals, the ones who've actually had a criminal life, and not us vulnerable, decent citizens who have lost our mothers to cancer and got no one else to turn to. I only have to say the wrong thing. I can't go into it. My partner's got a flat to go to. If I don't sit, lie down, roll over like a dog, because the police once arrested him for emotional abuse. And what are they doing? Darren has to call the police when I'm in the bath to scare me because of fear and control. And PC Austin, who assaulted me on Beachy Head, then slandered me in the paper because he bent my hand like that so that I was screaming and crying out for help. And he said, this is what the Home Office train us to do. And I had to get a nurse to look at my wrist. I've been targeted by these thugs. I've asked these criminals who are being paid to protect us to help us. And you lot out there, who do you work for? You've reported me to the police, have you? Helen James has just reported me to the police. 5:08 on the 22nd of August. Why? The police have just terminated my call of a report of domestic violence. What have you reported me for? Your number's not on there. I'm going to ring Juliet. I'm sick to death of this. Absolutely sick to death of all of you. You're cowards and you know it. I know what Jeanette Archer's been through. I've been through it myself many, many times. Hi, Juliet. I'm sorry to ring you like this. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm in the middle of live streaming. I text this woman who got my number, wouldn't tell me where she got it from, and I've asked her who gave it to her. It was one of these scammers on YouTube, and it's demented. She's reporting me to the police. Why? Because just like this Tina Chave, I'm speaking out on my channel about the corruption. This is what is just so mental. It's absolutely mental. And I don't know if you got my voice message just now, but I recorded a 101 call hand. This is what I'm saying, that this is exactly what I've got to expose, Juliet. I've just recorded a 101 call handler asking me about Darren assaulting me. And I said it was just a push and a shove. I'm more concerned about the key. I've been very articulate. She said she wouldn't hang up on me, and she hung up on me. This is what they do. and it's the fraud, it's the and now I've got, whether it's true or not, I feel like I'm just stuck in hellfire with these cowards, these absolute cowards. I'd love to know how have heard of this Tina Chave. I've sorry, so if I'm arrested for making this live stream, well, I text this person saying I want to know who gave you my number. They're absolutely demented, but they're all part of this shield community. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. I'm sorry about this. You're fighting corruption, are you? Warrior Wales, maybe you could let me know can you let me know which phone call it was, which Sunday live phone in that Tina Chave said she was taking legal action against me? I mean, this is a woman who claimed she was going to do all these wonderful things for me, and she's exposing corruption. Do you know what? There are a lot of people who are going to hell. They're on a fast train now. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid of jumping off the cliffs. I'm afraid of physical pain of jumping off the cliffs, but I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die. This is what happens. So you lot are supposedly fighting against corruption whilst actually being part of it. Really, seriously. You're just as much a scumbag as they are. I stabbed myself through the arm with a 6-inch knife, and my mother brought me up to be like a Jane Austen lady, but you know what? She would expect me to swear. She would probably expect me to do an awful lot of things. But this was a key. This is, So there you go, Juliet. This is just it. So I rang the National Domestic Abuse Helpline. They say I'm not safe with Darren because he's a predator. Then they terminate my call because they say I'm blocking important calls. Then I have 101 hang up on me. They did it 3 weeks ago. They've just done it again after an hour of saying they won't do it, and then they do it. We want to know details about the assaults. I said it was just a push and a shove. I'm more concerned. I'm more traumatized by what the police did to me. The IOPC did not respond to it took me 3 weeks to get the energy to email them. It's an absolute miracle that I'm still here. It's a miracle that I've survived one of the things that I've been through. Just one of them. Just one of those things. This is what happens when you go around your whole life being all sweet and thinking of other people, crying out inside, and then when you finally flip and get it out there, because no one will do their jobs. I worked so hard when I did care work to be a nice person, and I was bullied by the people that I was caring for and the staff. Now that I'm on severe disability, I've had the most horrific crimes committed against me. I can barely function. I can barely function mentally or physically. And I think my life has probably been significantly shortened because in America, where they do the research, because the Tories don't believe in funding mental health, because they use trauma to control the masses as well. Well, I watched a whole video I wanted to find something that talked about children and babies, particularly babies, who've just absorbed. I described myself as a sponge, which is what I was. That's what Dr. Innes Cameron affirmed. And apparently, the idea that a baby or a child is not affected just from listening to domestic violence is BS. It's absolute poppycock. It really is. People who, a baby or a child, a toddler that's only had to be in another room hearing the violence, it does something to their stress levels to make them hypervigilant, and it shortens their life. It's something to do with some, I'd have to watch it again, but some part of the body where they're shorter than the average size thing. I think it's in the brain. But I had a brain scan by Sussex Partnership. They did a brain scan and I was arrested out of the psychiatric unit. So I was saying to this 101 call handler, I said, either way, my partner's emotionally abusing me and the police have done what they've done. These crimes are being committed against me. There needs to be an investigation. But the IOPC won't respond to their crimes. No one, there is, it's like what PC Ian Williams said to me, the welfare officer. He said, there is no system, Bryony. He said there is no system. And he looks tearful. Why aren't they doing anything? I was speaking to this woman in a hypervigilant, traumatized state. And these narcissists, these perpetrators, because they're the perpetrators, they are responsible for your welfare. They are paid. The members of the council have a duty to stop and correct. The police have a duty to, under common law. They don't care though. It's below the GCSE level to get into the police, but you wouldn't want these scumbags. They are criminals. They are, this is off the scale. I went to these people for help and support. 26 years trying to get help with mental health. And I'm on severe disability premium. Yes, Jeanette Archer. It is Tavistock programming. Look up Mark Devlin and mind control and Satanism in the music industry. He covers Adamant. I know because Adam wrote to me about his demons. Oh my gosh, there is so much. There is so much I could tell him, and there's so much I'm learning from him. New Horizons. Look him up. It probably is a mind control and psyops, but I'm trying to concentrate on what I know to be factual, because I'm not a Freemason, let's face it. I'm only getting what some people are saying, and there are crazy people out there. Mental cases, absolute mental cases who have sold their souls. I'm calling a spade a spade. These are the things that have happened to me. And I want to swear. I really, really, really want to swear my head off. And that's what I'm supposed to do. Because the thing is, if I don't swear, I will do myself harm. Because I'm stuck. I'm literally, you can hear it in the recording. I'm not going to play it because it's an hour long of just guff from, it's noise on a stick. Just the attitude. It's no different to these demented, vile creatures that watch my videos, not all of you, of course, but the ones that troll and, you know, those ones. And it's no different. You know, I just think, as my late mother said, we need to put them all in one place where they can fight each other in a war zone and just get rid of them, you know, because they're parasites on this earth. I'm here for the empaths. I'm stuck. I am simply fucking stuck. I'm stuck and trapped. You know, you've got these scammers and these people just pretending to understand, and demented trolls who come out of nowhere, get your number from one of these scammers and then threaten you, and because they don't like something that you said about someone that you like. You wouldn't get babies doing this. They don't like it when you ask them, do you have children? They then turn that into a hate crime. What planet have I woken up on? I'm sorry, but I'm still living in the 20th century here, where people were still relatively normal. There was evil, yes, there's always been evil, but you're asking simple questions that people don't want to answer. So I've got a good mind to contact this ex-partner. But you don't want to do that, though, do you? Because you've moved on from. I don't want to. I don't want to contact anyone. I don't like asking for help. I like to be independent. I've gone to. In order to be independent, you've got to ask for a little bit of help along the way, because you can't be superhuman. You can't have trauma from baby into adulthood and have it repeated over and over and over and over and over. I went down to the urgent care lounge at Sussex Partnership, just telling them that my life was in danger. Now, I could, quite rightly, my mother would expect me to do this because she was normal, basically. She didn't take all the bullshit that people are taking. Because you imagine this happening to you. I text Steve Churchill from the food bank. What if this was happening to your daughter? What if this was happening to my partner's sister? Oh, they'd be rallying around. He got his dad to speak to me, and his dad was like at the Saffron where the food bank ignored the Trestle Trust Food Bank ignored an online petition saying there are people on disability being bullied here. Hello, Tina Chave, are you hearing this? Yeah, you do bugger all. Yeah, bugger all. Bugger all. You're going to help me? You said, by law, I shouldn't be in these places. And now, because I'm speaking about it, Warrior Wales said you're threatening me with legal action. Well done, Tina, because you might have my blood on your hands. Because I've been attempting suicide here and you haven't done anything. You haven't done what you said you'd do for me. I despair of people. I absolutely despair. You all use this new age bullshit. Oh, leave it in the past. All the while that you are creating trauma. Do you know what trauma is? Trauma is the past. And then you create more trauma, and that's the past. And you basically leave someone on disability whose life has already been shortened by child abuse. And they're carrying it. And it all gets too much. It's all too heavy. That is why I haven't been able to look after my physical health as well as my mental health. because you are not doing anything. These people from agencies are ringing, they're hanging up. Whatever's going on behind the scenes, I don't know. I can't comment on that. All I know is no one is doing anything. And my lady witness, who was attacked in the street by random drunks trying to help me, a member of the public, that Dan says, oh, you keep going on about your lady witness. If that is Dan and not some troll pretending to be him. You won't take a call from me though, will you? Yeah, I can now see why people troll your videos, police abusing powers. Because you're not what you say you are. My lady witness has got her own problems with the system. She's going through cancer treatment. She's caring for an autistic son. She's got problems with the social services. She's got her own problems. She has got her own problems. I have been going to her because I have no one else to turn to. We're talking about really simple, basic stuff. Really basic stuff. I could get a 2-year-old to do for me the things that I've been asking for help with. You couldn't make this up. The rest of it, I could get a 5-year-old to do these things for me, I'm sure, yeah. Anyone can hang up on you. Anyone can call you strong, say they're going to do all these things for you, and then, nah, I'm not going to do it. Nah. I'm on severe disability premium, and I've never worked harder in my life trying to get people to do things. This is basic stuff. Common sense that people don't seem to have. Here's a cup of tea and here's a sandwich. I wish I had a magic wand. Oh my gosh, if I had a tally chart for the number of times I've heard that phrase, we're going to send you back to that place where your life has been put in danger, with no one to turn to, because all these people that you're ringing are hanging up on you and not doing bugger all, sweet bugger all. Members of the council, it's in the mainstream media that members of the council are too pussy to do anything. And there's my partner mocking me when I say to him that councillor Robin Maxted has failed to stop and correct. Yeah, failed to stop and correct. Now that's why I was getting angry with him earlier, saying, what have you been doing for me? Because he won't have me in his flat, because as I said, I've got to lie down, do as he told, like a dog, do this, do that. He wasn't going to give me a key to this flat that apparently I have permission to be in by this woman I haven't met. And then he's gone hidden the key. He also didn't like me getting upset with him because the clothes that I've bought him, the nice t-shirt and shorts, he's ruined the shorts with bleach. Then he was using the nice cream-coloured t-shirt to wipe the surfaces. And I said, there's a cloth there. So I had to pick up the cloth because he puts it in a square and it has to be just so on the sink. I said, there's a cloth here. Why are you using your nice clean clothes that I bought you? So he very violently tries to tear it out of my hand. There is no mental health condition that says that that is acceptable. I go out there, I do the food shopping. I've spent thousands of pounds of back severe disability pay to fund hotels for my safety, whilst illegal immigrants are being put up. And more are going to come in, whilst your people are dying on the streets. You cowards who attack me and do nothing. Why? Because you don't like what I'm saying. Get off your arse Because there are no real men and women alive anymore. I expect the last time that there were real men and women alive was when my mother was alive. My grandmother lived through 2 world wars. For what? For this? You're disgusting. The fact that I am still here with just one of the things that has happened to me, just one of them. PC Austin looked at me distressed. And I have to say, it wasn't too different to my partner. If you got a manhood between your legs, fucking act like it. You assaulted me, PC Austin, in my partner's flat. He was arrested for domestic abuse, emotional coercive control, which is a 5-year prison sentence. And you turned up when I jumped out of the bath, his bath, dripping wet. I knelt at your feet like this, shaking to show that I was not a threat. Like this. I had a sleeping bag. I was terrified because I don't know what's going to happen next. And you were like, get out of here. Get out. You're going to get out. And he grabbed me and he bent my wrist so that I was screaming and crying and saying, Darren, tell him to get off me. And all Darren could say was, very sheepishly, you need to go down to the hospital, trying to look like he's the victim. But where was he on the 23rd of August 2019 when I was arrested out of the psychiatric unit, the people that are meant to help me, where I recorded I had seen Councillor Robin Maxted in his flat, and he said they cannot release you with nowhere to go, and then they did. They did. On the 23rd of August, and I recorded the damning ward review, and I was arrested out of the hospital that the Sussex police had dragged me in there 4 months earlier. And when PC Harriet released me, he said, Darren's a knob. And when I said that on the phone to him, Darren was screaming down the phone at me. I'm not protecting him anymore. I was protecting Darren because he's sweet and gentle and all of that. No, not anymore. I've shared everything with Darren. I've shared everything, passwords, bank details. But more importantly, I've shared my soul. The one thing I can never, ever get back. The pain. On the 22nd of July, what did I do for his birthday? I put up balloons and everything, 50th balloons in a celebration in a hotel room, and a month later I'm arrested in hospital pajamas, and he couldn't even be down there for me at the hospital. But whilst PC Harriet was calling me a knob, what does that make him? If Darren is a knob, what does that make PC Harriet and his friends at Sussex Police? Eh? Yeah, exactly. A vulnerable woman, a vulnerable, decent, honest, brutally honest human being who just needed a little bit of support. But no, I'm even getting threats from Tina Chave and Dan from Police Abusing Powers, even though they offered me help and said, oh, we don't tolerate abuse on our channel. I've got the evidence, Dan. Do whatever you like. I've attempted suicide in here. Is this a threatening text message from this woman, Helen, from your community? Is it? No, it's not. It's from Juliet. Thank goodness. There are people out there who are far more unhinged than me, who go on to murder people. I know because I met a criminal at the Saffron, and he said there are women out there, nice people who've been so nice all their lives, who will murder people. And I've taken it from the people paid to protect me. You can call it whatever you like, evil, satanic, Luciferian, whatever. We're living in a time where good is evil and evil is good anyway, because it's the morality is just like how many genders are there? I can't. I mean, I don't actually believe what I've woken up into. I mean, my sister's even my sister who's living as a man would say, fuck that. How many genders are there? How many? What is it? 30 something genders? I don't know, and I don't care. But the police apparently are more concerned about that and going into playgrounds. Oh my God. Do you know what? My mother is better off dead. And I want to join her. And she said, I'll be waiting for you. And I tell you what, wherever my mother is right now, dead, I'm going to be with her. It will be a much safer place than where all these evil bastards are going when they die. I am going to go where my mother is. And I know that in here. I always have known it. I've woken up to really, I just, there are no words for it. There are no words for it. It's mind control, and you guys are just going along with the corruption. You're complicit in it. Complicit. I mean, at a basic level, at a freaking basic level, I just cannot get my head around it. And that is why I feel so trapped. I don't even know what to believe in anymore, because my partner was the one who brought me to the name of Yahweh, and the Hebrew Aramaic scriptures, and I thought, oh yeah, we're in the truth. But you know, I just don't know anymore. I don't know. I just know that what has been done, well, I think I've said it all. Basically, I've said it. I don't think there are any more threatening messages, are there? Why? Because I asked how someone got my number. But yeah, so my partner took the set of keys that he gave me. I don't think anyone knows what people who are victims of mind control know from an early age. But even when they come to realize what mind control is, they're not going to go around telling people, oh, I'm a victim of mind control. The word I used before I had the internet, when I was at college, was conditioned. And the guy who got me that newspaper article, he was the one I was telling it to, and he was my careers advisor. Now the thing is, I don't want to say too much, but he knows he used me because he got a kick out of. He knew that I wanted a pair of boots, thigh-high boots, for the Anime convention, and well, he was helping me with self-defense, but he wanted me to wear them. But I knew why he wanted me to wear them, of course. But it wasn't like when you need more of the friendship, especially after my mother died, and then he's like, oh, you're manipulating me. See, he's done it. This is someone who helped me with my confidence and helped me with my self-esteem. But even he did the, oh, you're manipulating me. And then I was like, now hang on a minute here. I've been there in your flat wearing those thigh-high boots and you're getting off on it. And is that what you see me as? Just someone you can see every now and again? But yeah, he did the brave briny battles on and all that. I haven't got time for time wasters. I haven't got time for people who've got their own issues, who want to just take advantage of the knowledge that I'm giving, the honesty, the brutal honesty about myself, because this is me. So why? So that they can study me for when I'm in crisis. Oh, I know, neglect. Bryony's biggest fear is neglect. I know, I'll tell her I see her as like a wife and I want a child with her, because abusive men want to have babies with vulnerable women, so just so that they can, it's to do with fear and control. I'll leave her to sleep rough. So basically, I'll have her arrested for disagreeing with me. I'll abandon her, get her into that trauma bonding. That in itself is mind control. That in itself. I mean, but because that is the person that you can't believe, my sweet Darren could do that. I mean, Leslie said he's a good boy, and then she went from that to saying, oh, I don't think you should see Darren anymore. We thought he was abusing you. And she says the Freemasons are Christians. And Caroline Ansell, MP, is the one who said he should have a caring role for me because of their personal failings. So they're using someone who they know has already got their own mental health issues, my partner, and they use him as a scapegoat for emotional abuse. I could already see it was going, but because I was so vulnerable, I had no choice. You've either got to be completely and utterly stupid brain dead, nothing going on in there. But then I recorded that 101 call handler. What was her name? Bex, whatever. There's nothing going on in her. None of them. They're all the same. There's nothing going on in here. And the more I laugh about it and the more I speak, no. Well, do you know what? If you've got children, and this is why you stitched me up, because all I had to say was, do you have children? I had a cell door slammed in my face. My mother would be asking you the same bloody question. My grandmother would. People died for your freedom. You don't care about your children as much as you don't care about us, the people that you're paid to protect under common law of the land. You can ignore it if you like, but either way, you're committing criminal crimes and spiritual crimes. Whatever. You're cowards. Anyway, there's no point in banging on anymore because it's just banging on. But yeah, of course I'm very angry. I'm carrying trauma. Yeah, you know, that thing that my partner says he went round telling people that I was suffering from. That thing, yeah, trauma. Because he wasn't going to ring Tina Chafe. He wasn't going to ring Dan from Police Abusing Powers, even though Dan said that what his dad said to me was nasty, and he said you should be able to stay in his flat. Well, I can't, can I, Dan? Why don't you get Tina to pull her finger out and do what she said, and I wouldn't have reported her to trading standards. Grow up. I'm supposed to be the vulnerable person here, and you're like, yeah, you're vulnerable. You came on my live chat to tell people to F off, and you said you wouldn't tolerate bullying on police abusing powers, and then you stood by and allowed it to happen. I was called a bitch, and all these things, and you just doing nothing. It's just anything to keep me in a state of suffering. Oh, Darren shouldn't be doing that to you. Oh, your partner's abusing you. Right, so what are you going to do about it? You need to take responsibility for yourself. You're a strong person. It's not my responsibility. Here's like a hot potato. Throw it around. Throw it to this person. Oh, no, I don't want it. It's not my responsibility. Oh, but she's a vulnerable homeless woman. What are you? Oh, yeah, but he's abusing her. Well, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. Then all the narcissists stand around like Satanists in a circle, and they're all like, Bryony, you're the problem. You're the problem. It's you. You're the problem. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Because I tell you what, the more you're nasty, cruel, negligent, everything, the more I have to say it somewhat gives me more of a reason to believe this Jeanette Archer, because all I've had to do is say something positive about her and how brave she is, and I find her even more believable than I did before. Not that I never did believe her, and then I'm getting attacked when I've already got my own circumstances. I just don't. Oh my God. I mean, I'm crumbs. I had to keep away from my sisters for these reasons. This is why I'm so sick. I feel physically. Do you know what? I was actually physically sick at the property. You know, that property that you were meant to be helping me with, Tina Chave. Because my stuff is meant to still be in that room, right? What if I didn't have Darren? What if I was too scared to go back there, right? Because I tell you what, I'm unbelievably calm under the circumstances. I'm too afraid to go back there. I've been attacked and assaulted by both staff and by the people that live there. Because assaulting someone can be a verbal attack. Being called an effing spastic, which I recorded, and apparently it's a hate crime. The reason why I don't have friends is because I prefer to be on my own. Because this is all I attract in my life. Because I'm a super empath. How do I know that? Because I've done the research. They overthink. They do tend to overthink. And they are a narcissist's arch enemy. Because I thought I was a narcissist, but I'm not. This is PTSD. This is the reason why I'm still here. Because I know that I've got some sort of purpose to be here. And then there are people who are jealous of me. So they want to destroy me because they've got that such low self-esteem. And you know who you are. You know who you are. You can carry on putting comments, troll comments. I'm not even going to react with an emoji that goes, I'm not even going to bother. Because it's just, bleh, it's vomit. But throughout the scamdemic, you know, I was physically sick from being harassed and traumatized. Did you know this is how people get cancer? Did you know that this is how people get terminal illness and Alzheimer's and dementia? From being attacked and harassed and assaulted. I was physically sick in that property at Belmore Road. This is all the while that people are in the club. Keep your mouth shut, club. Those mouth masks are very dangerous, you know. Very dangerous to your physical health as well as your mental health. Because of the fibres in the material and what you're breathing in, what it does to your skin. And all the while, nobody's doing anything. I would love to see these people being harassed, assaulted, attacked. What would you do? What would you do, Dan, Tina Chave, whoever's watching, if someone in your own home, a police-protected criminal, followed you around, called you an effing nut job? You're already ill. They're following you around. They're kicking doors. They're attacking you for whatever reason because they're demented. I don't know what else has gone on behind the scenes. What would you do? And then you're arrested on a fraud. When you ring 999 and you record... Oh, God, I don't even want to keep repeating. No. This has been over an hour now. I don't want to talk anymore. I just don't want to talk anymore. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's just check this isn't... Oh, it's... I'll guess who it is. Before I end the live stream, I've literally... at 5:57, the time is 5:57, I've just had this demented, crazy nutcase Haynes person. Just to let you know, also, Shelley Moat has reported you and Jeanette Archer to counter-terrorism. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I don't know who you are. You won't tell me how you got my number. I've recorded the 101 calls to the police. I don't know who you are. Terrorism. There you go. I'm Shelley Moat has reported you and Jeanette Archer to counter-terrorism. Why? Because I've said that there's a woman who's a victim of satanic ritual abuse called Jeanette Archer, who's brave. And suddenly you, who won't tell me how you got my number, the only people who have my number are these scammers on YouTube, and you've reported me. I just said, how did you get my number? You sicko. I've reported you to counter-terrorism as you involved with identified far-right extremists. What far-right extremists? I don't even have a group. You're like this woman, what's her name? Yolanda Kenwood, who says she's married to a Freemason. I don't know you, and you won't tell me how you got my number. I tell you what, though, if the police have got the time to arrest me, yeah, because of my freedom of speech, people died for your freedom. People died for your freedom. And you are, you can make this up. People died for your freedom. And you are attacking a vulnerable, homeless woman who's having to report domestic abuse. Sorry, what happened to that troll? What's her name? Princess Angela? It's my duty to report you as being suicidal. Yeah. This is one of Dan's, from Police Abusing Powers, his supporters. This Princess Angela. Yeah. Right. Well, thank you, because you lot are making me suicidal. Thank you. Thank you for adding to... Have you seen the state of me? Have you seen the state of me? Have you seen how ill I am? Can you not even see it? How filthy and greasy and tired I am. I haven't been out for days. My partner's taken keys that he's given to me that he's had. And yet Dan said he's abusing me. And what are you guys doing? Yeah, it's just, you couldn't make this up. You couldn't make it up. I mean, that troll Princess Angela from Police Abusing Powers, she claimed it was that I was talking about her when I was playing a recording of someone in my property. This is what the trolls are doing. I've woken up I just feel like I've come out of the 20th century, and I've suddenly woken up in a demented planet of dystopian dementia. This is demented. This is absolutely demented. This is absolutely demented. Order followers following insane criminals, because, well, they're the ones in the government, aren't they? Paedophiles and everything. And thanks a lot for that. You just keep sending me text messages, because I don't know how you got my number. My number is not online. You won't tell me who gave you my number. Wow, this is what happens when you ask for help and you fight against corruption on your own. I feel at any given second I could just pass out. I could just collapse, because that social worker landlord said to me, you might want to check you haven't inherited your mother's cancer. He said, I knew too much. I was in supported accommodation, and this Tina Che from the Independent Advice Network was going to help me with all these things, and she hasn't. And she's threatening me just like this nutcase because I'm speaking out about it. Go on then, throw it all at me. Throw it all at me. I might not even be here. I might have jumped off those cliffs by then. Tina Che from the Independent Advice Network, who helps people on disabilities, and I've got evidence of you saying you'll help me. The number of times I could have jumped off those cliffs. PC Harriet said he was there when I was reported missing in the local Herald, and they contacted my father, whom I haven't seen since I was 12. Yeah, that's nice. Nearly 3 decades, and I haven't seen him. So they got him to believe that it was attention seeking, and I went to sleep in a field near my mother's ashes. I'm not only suffering from extreme bereavement, emotional attachment disorder type thing, I'm also suffering from the child abuse and the brain damage from that. That's what I've learned within the past 6 years of me being in a relationship with my partner. Meeting this locum from the Channel Islands. Yeah, thanks a lot. They dragged me backwards in handcuffs through Hyde Gardens back to a hospital that didn't want to help me, where I'd been assaulted. Do you know what? You guys are probably the kind of idiots that I'm keeping away from for my safety. You're probably the kind of patients that go out of their way to attack other people. I spoke to little Emma on the bed opposite me. She was assaulted. She's a very, very quiet little thing. She was assaulted by a patient. I was telling this 101 call handler a little while ago before she hung up on me. And Emma said that the police couldn't do anything about her because she was a patient. All right. So why was I dragged into the hospital in handcuffs and then 4 months later dragged out of there in handcuffs? When the housing officer John Robinson didn't turn up on the 13th of June, when adult social care didn't turn up for their appointment in May, when John Patterson was disappeared out of there in July. And then I was doing something nice for my partner's 50th birthday in a nice hotel room, and I was arrested out of there. Because just like you lot, they didn't like me recording them. They didn't like me recording the ward review. It's for my own record. I don't think it's on YouTube. It shouldn't be, I don't think. But I recorded them because Councillor Robin Maxted said they can't release me with nowhere to go, and they did. And I was arrested in hospital pyjamas. Hang on a minute. So I'm bullied, attacked and assaulted. I had this obese creature, shall we say, threaten to punch me and stamp on my foot when I'd already helped her with her socks, put her socks on. And because I had a curtain wrapped around my bed and I was on the phone to Darren, my partner, she was screaming at me to shut up, and I don't know. So if he's been up to no good, because something's not right here, something's not right. I said, Darren, that vile, obese creature next to me has just threatened. I've got the curtain around my bed and she's threatening to stamp on my foot and punch me. They put me in my own room on the ward. But where was he when I needed him? When I said they were arresting me, I said I got on the blow to him. I said that the doctors, I've recorded them saying that they will help me, and that Robin Maxted said they can't release me with nowhere to go. And the manageress, Jackie Lake, has said yes we can, and they did. And I was outside the hospital. This is a hospital where my mother was dying of cancer in 2009. You sickos. You sick bastards. You are sick in the head. Hell is a long time to pay for your crimes. This was a hospital where my mother had been dying of cancer before she went into the hospice. I had a care coordinator bully me away from seeing the nurses who nursed my dying mother. Oh, you saw a Rav, this counsellor. What are you doing arresting me out of the hospital in hospital pyjamas? And I'll tell you what, if you want to keep normalising this, if you want to carry on normalising it in your sick, brainwashed, mind-controlled little heads, you keep doing that. You keep doing that. I've made my YouTube videos. I'm so proud of myself for what I've done. I don't need you scammers to say, you're a strong person, because you're upsetting other people as well anyway. That's probably why you're threatening people with legal action, because you're falsely offering help to people in a system that's already corrupt and broken and run by criminals. So you keep doing that. You keep doing that. I'm sure I'll get more text messages from this Helen James. You do that. You do that. Because before any court case comes, the other day I came close to lobbing myself off those cliffs. But I'm so weak. I'm so drained. Oh, I don't care. I just really, I feel physically sick from it all. All the sickness in these live streams just reminds me of how far I've come and what you utter cowardly little turds. You know who you are. You know who you are. Yeah, as Andy Devine said, keep smiling. Yeah, I will. And from what I've learnt, you've upset a lot of people, and that's all I have to say about that.